Good morning. Gonna do the law of sines now. And I'm gonna have to make a triangle to start off with. A nice simple little triangle. This does not have to be a right triangle. In fact, it's not a right triangle. And it also, this may or may not be to scale very much. We'll call this A, B, and C. And these will be the capital letters representing the angles. So we'll make this little c, little a, and little b. And the lowercase letters are the lengths of the sides. And notice that they are opposite their angle counterparts. So this side B is opposite this angle B right here, which that kind of looks like a right triangle, but that's just an accident right there. Now let me show you how we're going to use this thing called the law of sines. And that is little a over the sine of capital A. And what it is a proportion. It's a set of proportions that you can use to kind of like do trigonometry, like right triangle trigonometry, except when the triangle isn't a right triangle. So if we put this, and let me change colors here to like blue, we'll make this 33 degrees, and we'll make this angle up here a nice big old obtuse angle of 105 degrees. And then let's say we also know that this side right here equals 37.9. And what the directions are going to say on these problems is solve. It's going to say something like solve triangle ABC. And if you're doing that, what that means is you have to find angle C, little a, and little c. So there's three parts to this. All right. Now, for the law of sines, the easiest way to do this, and I think once I show you an example, this will click just like nobody's business. So let's say you need to use your eyeballs and look at what's given. So the blue stuff on this triangle is given. I have angle B, and I have side B, and I notice that I have both of the B's. So I'm going to use this part for sure of this equation. I also have angle A, but I don't have little a. So I'm going to solve for little a. Okay? So I'm going to use this and this. So when you actually do a problem, you're just going to use two of these things, not all three. All right. So check this out. If I know, and I'll kind of show you the format here, b over sine b, and if right below that I put what that equals, so b is 37.9 over sine b, which that's 105 degrees. And I let that equal, and up here I'm putting the formula of what I'm going to be using, and down here I'll put the actual problem. I'm going to let this equal a over sine a. And so we're going to solve for little a, so that's going to be little a. And we know that capital A is going to be 33 degrees, so that's going to be sine of 33 degrees. Okay, now before we start hitting buttons and solving that, I'm going to just quickly review proportions here in pink, and then I'm going to fade that out. If you have something like 10 over 5 equals x over 2, and you have to solve a proportion right here. To do this, this is a cross multiplying thing. All right, so watch. You see how I can draw a straight line and hit two numbers, but if I draw a diagonal line through here, I hit a letter. I multiply these two, so it's 10 times 2, which is 20, and 5 times x, which is 5x, and then of course I divide by 5 on both sides. Let me just erase that right there. It's kind of ugly. 5. That cancels. X equals 4. So of course this right here would be 4. That's basically in a nutshell how to do a proportion right there. I'll get rid of that. Now if I am solving for this letter here, what I have to do on my calculator very carefully is to do 37.9 times sine of 33. Now here's going to be my equal sign. Do this in black here. So I'm going to type it here as hopefully everybody in my class is doing. 37.9 times sine 33 equals, and just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to round this to the second decimal place. So I got 20.64. On the other side, I'm going to take the sine of 105 times a, and that's going to look like this. Sine 105a. Just like I had before 4x, this time it's sine of 105a. So it's all of this, whatever that is, that's a decimal, times a. So to solve this, I'm going to divide both sides by the sine. I'm kind of running out of room. I apologize for that, whatever. I'm going to divide both sides by the sine of 105 degrees. So I already have on my calculator 20.6418, blah, blah. If I just hit divided by sine 105 equals, it will do all the stuff for me, and it will give me the fact that a equals 21.37, which I'm going to call that 4. And that's not degrees, remember, because that's this side right here, 21.4. And I leave it to you now. I would like you guys to try to find side C. Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow.